Hello, my name is Lisa Phillips, and thank you very much, REIClub, for choosing me to be the investor success story for the month of September. I will tell you about my real estate, my most recent property success story that I'm very excited about. But first, let me talk about my investment strategy. I solely focus on houses under $30,000. It obviously makes sense for the cash flow and rental income aspect of it. The reason I do this is because I've been able to develop a pretty strict criteria looking at crime, looking at property values, looking at monthly rentals, where it works out each and every time if you follow a very strict search criteria. So this last property I purchased in Richmond, Virginia was for $25,000. I personally live right outside of DC, which is an hour and a half drive to Richmond, Virginia. So as soon as I purchased it in April, because I'm so far away, I had to really rely on word of mouth and reviews because I don't have a team yet. I haven't met anyone. So I went to Angie's List. I went highest rated reviews. I've made this mistake in the past of going with contractors who might have been cheaper, but then they didn't do the job as they were supposed to. They stopped early, and I just had so many problems. So now price is not my main indicator. Peace of mind is, and what I do is just go with who has the best ratings and review, and I go forward accordingly. So I was able to find a general contractor, and purchase price was $25,000. I spent about $25,000 on the rehab, and half of that $25,000 was through different lines of credit. Actually, about 65% of the rehab was lines of credit. And I always tell people to mention this because they wonder about where they get the money. Well, you know, a couple years ago when I did a house, I got a Home Depot card, I got a Lowe's card, and both of those companies do installations of different items. They do windows, they do doors, they do cabinets. So the same things that you'd go to an outside contractor for, you can get there. But I also discovered that if you go to different contracting firms and ask them if they have a line of credit and financing offers, about half of them do. And they have them through these little boutique line of credit, I call them. Like, I never knew Wells Fargo had a home projects visa, but I had someone do some foundation work 2 years ago in Baltimore, Maryland for a property I have there that I purchased for $13,000. And, you know, I had it, we paid it off within the year from the rental income. And then when I had it this time and I started this house, I just called them up, asked them for a list of contractors that used it in the Richmond, Virginia area, which there was a long list. I asked them if they could raise it to this particular number because I plan on doing 3 different items with it, and they raised them to the exact limit what you asked for. And the reason I like them is because they're like Target credit cards. Anyone can get one. You just have to ask for it. They're not really hard to get. They're not like trying to apply for an American Express. I guess the home improvement industry is such a huge part of this country that they want to give out that line of credit because then it facilitates more growth and jobs and employment. It creates a whole industry that feeds on itself. So that was the majority of the costs were through 6 months free financing, 2 years free financing, 18 months. And what's good about that is that the rental income itself pays for those lines of credit for that length of time from 6 months to 2 years, so that I don't have to come out of pocket and it's directly coming from the rental paying for itself. And then once it's paid off, of course, you use it again for the next house. I'd like to get it to the point where it's all paid for with line of credit. So right now when I do talk to contractors who are highly rated, I ask and see if they have these lines of credit and financing offers. And then, and FYI, I don't have the best credit in the world, so I'm telling you, they just give it to everyone. And, you know, I'd like to get it where everything's just paid off with 6 months to 2 years financing. So, you know, the business pays for it versus me paying for it out of pocket. And so after about 3.5 months, we were finished. It's 4 weeks later than the contractor told me. So my lessons learned, and for all of you guys, next time I do any big project, I am making sure there's some type of contingency plans. If they don't finish in time, if they can't do a contingency plan, I'm going to give preference to the contractor that does. If you're not done by this time, this is what happens. Money is taken off. I wish I would have done it before, but you learn each time. I'm not Donald Trump. I don't have a room full of people who can advise me on this. I have to use the internet, REIClub, and talk to other investors like you. But, you know, hard work lots of times, and just making not even necessarily smart decisions, but long-term strategic investments, maybe paying a little bit more now so that your investment lasts the 20 years, has been working for me. And even though they just finished this last Thursday with the house, the week before, my property management had tenants go and look at the house. Someone liked it so much, even though there was dust on the ground, but they could tell with the paint and the walls and the accessories that it was going to be nice. They applied, they were approved in my property management, and they put down a deposit before they even moved in. So they're moving in September 1st. I don't know if I can tell you how amazing that feels when you put money into a house that you bought for so low, but you do a good job, that they're rushing to get in. And I've noticed, because of my strategy is under $30,000, and these neighborhoods that even if I wouldn't live in it, if I make that house good enough so that I would live in that house, even if I'm not really a fan of the neighborhood, everyone who is comfortable in that neighborhood is rushing to get in there, because they know in that area that they live in, that's the nicest house on the block. It's always nice to have people banging down your doorsteps to rent your property, because you know, when you set off in real estate, investors all know you're sort of on your own. People don't understand it. They haven't made that leap. It's your money. It's your neck. It's your leverage, you know, that you know, can or cannot keep you up at night. So it was so gratifying to see that, and I hope the tenant is a great tenant, and I hope he doesn't want to leave for the next 10 years. That would make my day. So all in for $50,000, majority of that line of credit and loans, and at the end of the day, $900 a month in rent. So I always say it's good to go under $30,000, because I have other people in real estate and who are not necessarily have a strict criteria, but they get houses for $90,000, $80,000, $100,000, and they get $900 a month in rent, whereas I will be fully paid off in 3.5 years, paid for by the proceeds with that those financing deals of the rental income itself. So that's why I have the strategy. So thank you, REIClub, for letting me present and tell the world about this, and hopefully you learned just a little bit as much as I did about it. And if you're interested in how to get financing, or dealing with contractors, or how to find properties for this low but strategically, where with following the strict criteria, there's no worries about buying a house under $30,000, please visit my video blog at www.affordablerealestateinvestments.com. Again, www.affordablerealestateinvestments.com. This is Lisa Phillips, and thank you very much, REIClub, for letting me present myself for the investing success story for September. Thank you.